Hey Trans Youth! So this week there's been a lot of changes going on in Trans Youth. Well, not a lot of them, but a couple of them. The first one being that Kit and Kipling made a switch. They switched because Kit was having a few problems with her schedule and whatnot, and Kip decided to step up. It was either me or him, and he decided that he would begin to start releasing the videos in the first place. So what I wanted to say is good luck, Kip. And second, I wanted to say, Kit, thank you so much for your leadership up until now. It's actually very important to me, and for you to be advocating and facilitating and helping out this entire channel, not to mention having created it, is a huge deal, and I'm not too sure I've actually thanked you a lot for it. So, thank you. Then, to everyone else, what's been happening lately is we've started to begin having to come up with topics and produce lists of topics from ourselves. And it's kind of started to segue away from having viewers give us their questions. And I don't think that it should be happening that way. I am really kind of hoping that we can get back to the origins and start answering viewers' questions. But the only way that that can happen is if all of our viewers, that means you guys, send questions. So what we want to do, what I want to do anyway, is start to read those questions and things like that, and then start to suggest them and put them on the list ourselves. It seems like it's been becoming an internal debate as to what the next question for the next week is going to be about, and I'm totally okay with that. But I think that we should be pulling our ideas from our viewers. So if you agree, then by all means toss it in the comments or like this video. I don't really care, as long as it's a way to tell whether or not you agree with this. With all of that said and done, I want to get to the topic of the video. The topic of the video is regarding something that I have never experienced myself, being dating a cisgendered person as a trans person, and how I would want them to handle the relationship and treat me. So first off, to be patient with them. Keep in mind that this relationship may have to go slower than the average relationship, because there are certain things about being trans that we may not be comfortable with that come up in a relationship setting. For instance, being touched or having hands around us or anything like that. Or maybe cuddling with our partner and assuming male roles, which typically does happen in any relationship no matter what. The male and female roles tend to switch. So you have to be a little bit more careful, and you have to take this as slowly as your partner wants you to. If your trans partner is not comfortable with something that you typically find normal in a relationship, don't do it. Wait for them to get to that point. Next is understanding that there may be some things about them that you might find unattractive. I seem to get this a lot, actually, where a person just goes like, in a transsexual relationship, it usually turns out that no matter how beautiful they are, they're still a guy. That is blatantly not true. The thing that you are determining that on is down here, not here. And it's very important that in a relationship with a trans person, you understand that you have to get past certain things to see the real person, to see the person you are actually dating. If you're in a intimate relationship with them and this portion right here seems to bother you, like you're male and you don't identify as bisexual or gay or anything like that, you are completely straight, and you're about to have intimate relations with someone who has a penis, then that's something you need to get past if you want to carry this relationship forward. Number 3 is the opposite of that. Understanding that they have things that they don't like about their body. Now you have to understand what dysphoria really is an incongruency, a dislike of who we are. And that's going to have major ramifications in any relationship, ever. With a trans person, it's very, very difficult for that trans person to be completely comfortable with their body until their transition is complete. And you have to be patient with that. The next one is understanding that they may act, quote, irrational because of dysphoria. Dysphoria is not something that can be easily understood by cisgendered people. It's not something that really makes sense unless you've felt it before. It's like any other completely irrational feeling. You don't understand love until you feel love. And just like that, you don't understand dysphoria until you feel dysphoria. Having said that, it's really, really, really important for you to support them whenever they do have these irrational feelings, rather than saying, oh, you're completely overthinking it. Because whether or not they're overthinking it, they still feel that way. And you need to support them in that. You need to find a way to solve the problem rather than telling them there is no problem. Because truth of the matter is, there's a problem. 5. While it may be fun to think of this relationship as, hey, I'm with a transgendered person, don't think of it that way, because what you're really doing is you're just saying that they're trans. You're kind of sort of throwing it in their face that they are trans, which, while is true, may not be comfortable. It may cause problems in the relationship. You should treat them as they want to be treated, which means the gender that they identify as, not as being trans. Don't go around telling people that your girlfriend/boyfriend is a trans person. It's not funny. What happens there is actually a reason we have a major problem in the trans community, and that is the objectification of trans people as sex objects, which we are not. Don't think of us as sex objects. We are people, and we have emotions, and we have emotional attractions and emotional needs, just as we do sexual needs and physical needs. Please, 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 please remember that, if that's the one thing that you take from this video. Number 6, don't make a big deal out of their identity and history. Don't make a big deal out of their history being, hey, so when you were a guy, did you think this way? When you were a guy, did you do this? No, we don't want to really talk about that unless we bring it up in a casual conversation and want to talk about it in an environment where that's right, in an environment where that's okay. If you do have a question, it is important to bring it up ASAP, just like any other relationship, but it needs to be brought up in the proper environment and with the proper context. If you're talking over dinner, perhaps you'll want to talk about their history. That's something that you are allowed to know. But when they're doing something and then you straight up go, did you do that as a guy? No, not the right time. Don't do that. Don't. Just don't. Number 7, and this segues, treat it like any other relationship. Like any other relationship, you need to, 1, respect your partner, 2, treat them as equals, 3, respect their privacy, and 4, and probably the biggest one with trans people, is if you have questions or you are uncomfortable, don't just let it go. Don't let it build. Don't let it do anything like that. Talk about it in a calm, sensitive manner whenever you get the chance, like say maybe at dinner or something, to talk about the problem or issue. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of number 7 in a transgendered relationship, because it is quite complex for a straight person to view their girlfriend, their transgendered girlfriend, as a complete 100% girl. because of the trans problem, the trans issue. This down here physically, this up here acting with male mannerisms, etc. So that's pretty much it. And I don't want to be lecturing you guys or anything like that, but those are the general rules. 7 different rules. Pretty simple. Having said that, I do very much so wish that this relationship goes through if you're planning to do so as a cisgendered person or as a trans person trying to date a cisgendered person. I really hope that it works, and I'm completely rooting for you. I have not yet done it, and it's difficult in several different ways. I wish you luck. Bye, guys.